So, Devin Haney gets a unanimous decision versus Vasyl Lomachenko. Now, I have to admit, I had a real bad feeling as soon as those scorecards were read out, and from my first initial watch, I felt Loma had maybe just done enough to get the win, maybe a round or two or even a draw. And although I felt Loma had some brilliant moments throughout this fight, he let Devin get back into the rounds too easily at times in my opinion, and in some respects, you have to give credit to Haney for keeping Loma at bay at times and from overcommitting, particularly in the first 9 rounds, where I feel there was a couple of swing rounds in there where you could pick either guy. However, saying that, the 116-112 card from Moretti was atrocious in my opinion, but overall I did feel this fight was a lot closer, and getting a UD like that for Haney is a bit disrespectful for Lomachenko in my opinion. However, let's have a look at what both guys did to make this fight so close. So, first up, let's talk about the dream, Devin Haney. Hate him or love him, I think he does deserve some credit for his game plan, and there was some areas he exploited. Now, we all know Haney's best weapon is of course that lead hand jab where he looks to keep you on the outside. However, coming up against a southpaw like Loma, who is constantly moving, applying pressure, using upper body movement, changing the guard, it's very hard to tie him down. But the lead hand was not the primary weapon, but of course the right hand, which is often the case for orthodox versus southpaws, and vice versa. And I guess my main point of the game plan from Team Haney was particularly that right hand to the body, which, let's be honest, would unsettle and make Loma look to reset his attack again. Because of this, they very much fought at kind of mid to close range throughout the whole fight, where Haney for the most part would look to time Loma coming into range while attempting to turn with him as he tried to get the outside angle. And we'd see him throw that right hand hook, straight or uppercut.
Getting hit with big shots, I'm not sure what it is.
And the other punch Haney had great success with was actually the left hook up close, which when he did land at times made Lomachenko hesitant trying to commit to take that outside angle, which we've seen Loma use so often in the past. But that sharp left hook Haney threw definitely worked throughout the fight.
Doing his last round and a half.
Headshot lands.
Keep pressing.
In terms of the lead hand for Haney, it wasn't so much about landing on Loma with it, but more about keeping him at bay, occupying the guard so he could set up the right hand to the body. But Devin would also intelligently use his reach to frame off Lomachenko and pivot as he took that angle as well, while it would also allow him to set up the right hand that way too. And on the inside, I have to admit, it was more Devin Haney who was probably the more dirty fighter in there as he would look to punch on the clench. However, despite being the bigger man, Lomachenko caused lots of problems for Devin Haney on the inside and up close. And of course, he would look to tie up Lomachenko when in that position. Let's now shift our focus to Vasyl Lomachenko and look at his performance. In comparison in the fight against Teofimo Lopez, Loma displayed a significantly more aggressive approach in this bout, and consistently maintained a high pace throughout the majority of the fight, keeping Haney under pressure at some point. And as I mentioned in my tactical overview, if you watched that, Lomachenko understood that he needed to employ a lot more upper body movement to manoeuvre past Haney's lead hand and initiate these attacks. However, Devin in this fight had a much tighter guard and forced Lomachenko to rely more on his own jab to find openings, and he looked to double jab or use feints to close the distance to engage with Haney. This strategy proved really successful for Lomachenko as he managed to push back Haney against the ropes on several occasions throughout the fight, allowing him to unleash those rapid combinations effectively. However, there were instances where Lomachenko either took a step back and lingered in the pocket for too long, providing Haney with opportunities to tie him up and disrupt his work. And I also felt Lomachenko consistently tested Haney's ability to defend against the attempts to secure that outside angle, and Devin faced challenges in dealing with Loma's constant search for the advantageous position, and Lomachenko cleverly utilised this to his advantage, using his left hand to set up his right hand strikes. And for instance, when Lomachenko applied pressure on Haney and pushed him back, he would slip past Haney's lead hand and deliver a left hand power shot. And additionally, he patiently waited for Haney to bring that lead hand back down to a lower position in his more natural shell stance where he likes to throw the jab, which then enabled Lomachenko to land that powerful right hand shot multiple times over Haney's lead hand.
Right hand, Lomachenko with a three-punch combination. That was capped by a short left uppercut.
And additionally throughout the fight, he also showed versatility by using a clever tactic and doubling up the left hand. And it would help him close the distance, but it would also land cleanly on Haney, particularly the first shot he'd throw. And this technique allowed Lomachenko to penetrate through Haney's guard multiple times. And I guess it's a testament to Lomachenko's ring IQ, as he knew he had to get into range to try and throw those flurries when up close before Haney would get his own shot off or tie him up. But it was that 11th round Lomachenko truly showcased his ability to apply relentless pressure and deliver some power jabs that visibly shook Haney. And Haney, to his credit, did well to survive the round despite the barrage of punches from Lomachenko. And according to CompuBox, Lomachenko landed an impressive 40% of his punches in that round, while Haney only managed to connect 2. But in hindsight, maybe he should have pushed just a little bit more in that 11th round, considering Haney was hurt and was not taking those power shots well. But overall, that 11th round really demonstrated Lomachenko's ability to really assert himself in the fight and really deliver the more impactful blows that would leave an impression on the judges and help him go on to win the fight. However, in the 12th round, it just seemed like he just didn't have enough left in the tank to really push the fight once again and try and get the knockout. And unfortunately for Loma, maybe that's something he should have done. Now, overall guys, I did think it was a really close fight, as I said at the start of this video. Was it a robbery? It's hard to say. On my second watch, I gave Lomachenko 2 rounds, but on my third, I only gave him 1 more, so maybe a draw would have been a better outcome for this fight. In those first 9 rounds, you could definitely swing it in some instances to Haney in my opinion, but in no way did he dominate this fight, as one of the judges, Moretti, was suggesting. Personally, I would love to see a rematch between these two. I think the fact Lomachenko made it so close means he deserves it, but at the same time, I highly doubt Devin Haney will be wanting to rush into this fight again. I think this was a very hard fight for him, as I've just discussed, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see Devin Haney move on from 135 pounds. But if guys like Lomachenko are hurting Devin Haney, I don't know how he'll do up at 140 pounds, it'll be interesting to see. But yeah guys, I guess it was quite sad to see Lomachenko, you know, all the emotions of what's been going on in his country, him knowing that this was probably his last chance to become undisputed champion was always going to be a tough pill to swallow, and the fact that the judges were all against him, it will be a hard one to accept for him. But, you know, at the same time, credit for Devin Haney for making it a close fight. And yeah guys, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Did you think it was a robbery? Did you think it was a close fight? I'd love to know. This has been Jamie from Boxing Life. As always guys, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.